Hi, good evening, everyone. We are live today to connect with the representative of Deakin University in Australia. Deakin is one of the most premier universities in Melbourne and it has a regional campus in Geelong also. So I'll just add Mr. Basab Chaudhary from Deakin University and we can go live with him. So guys, so this is InPhase. I am Jagdeep Singh, the director of InPhase. I will be moderating with Mr. Basab Chaudhary. Basab Chaudhary is the international marketing director. It's a level 1 university. The visa success we have seen all these years is almost 100%. It's an amazing place to be. Hi Basab, how are you doing?
All good, all good. How are you?
All good. So how are things going in lockdown?
Lockdown doesn't really stop you from doing what you're meant to do. So we are finding new ways to do things. It's just that
Wonderful.
it is kind of a pit
Yeah,
stop for us, a bit of
right,
small halt, slowing it
right.
down, rumble strips on the road. So trying to pace up
It has
again.
brought its own challenges and its own opportunities with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It has
Right.
made things difficult, but I'm sure it is for a reason, and we'll come up with new innovative things to
Right.
face the new world.
Wonderful. So we are live today with our students through Instagram. We want to connect
Mhm.
with these prospective students in India who wants to know about more about Australia, more about Deakin University, more about how quality education can be, got in Australia. What are the processes? So I'll just let you first introduce the university to our students.
Pleasure, pleasure. So my name is Basab Chaudhary. I work with Deakin University. Deakin University is a public university based out of Melbourne. It's in Victoria. It's a Victorian public university, Victorian government public university. We have campuses in Melbourne. Burwood, actually, Burwood is basically the eastern suburb of Melbourne. Two campuses in Geelong. One is Warren Ponds, the other one is Waterfront, and the fourth campus is in Warrnambool. So Geelong, two campuses in Geelong, and the one in Warrnambool are basically regional campuses
Right.
wherein you have varied post-study work duration. So it may be about 3 years or
Right.
4 years, depending on which campus you choose. And then Melbourne, the city campus that we have.
So how far is Geelong from Melbourne?
Uh, Very good question. Actually, that I would have anyways highlighted. Uh, Now, Geelong is probably the only regional city which is actually within 1 hour radius of the main cities of Melbourne or Sydney. So no other
Right.
regional cities that close shares that close proximity with any main city. We are just 1 hour away. It's approximately around 70 kilometers, and 70 kilometers in Australia is nothing. I mean, you just take 1 hour
And you got
by there.
direct fast train to probably take 45-50 minutes from Melbourne to
Absolutely,
Geelong, right?
absolutely,
So it's
absolutely,
a very
absolutely.
interesting point for
And
our
also I'd
students.
like to,
Yeah.
sorry,
So
and
just
also
wanted to hear, so everybody wanting to go to Melbourne but looking for an extra 1 year of post-study work because in Geelong you get 3 years of post-study work, but in Melbourne you get 2 years of post-study work. So anybody wanting to live in Melbourne, study in Geelong, they have that option. So a very close city regionally to a main city. It's a very interesting combination.
absolutely, absolutely. Also, I'll add on here because in India, probably you take more than an hour to commute from your home to your work or probably to your college or school or whatever.
Right.
From that point, it is pretty convenient to travel and commute between both the cities. But in Australia, let me tell you, nobody lives actually in the city. Most of the population, they don't stay in the capital. They always stay in
Yeah.
outskirts or probably a bit remotely from the city. And
Suburb.
Geelong is also the industrial hub of the state of Victoria. So if you look at
Right.
industrial infrastructure, it is not there in Melbourne, it's there in Geelong. And it is
Right.
one of the fastest growing regions in entire Australia. And also the stretch between Melbourne and Geelong is the most developing stretch in the state of Victoria. So even if you look at
Lot
work opportunities, probably internships, part-time jobs, everything is there around Geelong.
Right. So there are a lot of new suburbs coming up over there, and
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
so you can stay somewhere in between, work in Melbourne, or probably you can get some work in Geelong also. And if I
Absolutely.
remember correctly, it's on the way to Great Ocean Road, so one of the most beautiful regions of Australia also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Torquay is just a few minutes drive from Geelong, and
Yeah.
it is something which is the most visited place. And Geelong is one of the most beautiful cities actually in Australia.
Yeah.
It
So
is
it's a waterfront
a
campus.
getaway location, weekend getaway location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So tell me more about the university, the Burwood campus, the courses.
So Deakin University actually is over 40 years old, and we are a public university which was basically established in 1974 with an objective to strengthen off-campus learning, not only on campus but also to strengthen off-campus learning, to provide education to students from different corners, students who can come to the campus and study, also those students who are unable to come to campus because of very various reasons, even they can actually study. So
Right.
uh, we offer courses across various areas. We offer courses right from health, business, law, science, engineering, information technology, marine sciences, health, arts and education, humanities, international relations. So you have almost all offerings there at Deakin University. So
Right.
it's an option. It's a destination which is pretty much sought after in Australia. In
Right.
terms of research, also we are one of the fastest growing research universities. We have massive funding of over $55 million. We have 13 research institutes, 6 research institutes, and 13 research centers, which is really big across different areas of artificial intelligence, medical research, public health, IT. So ISRI is also one of the leading research centers in Australia, which is a pioneer in haptics technology. So
Right.
many
Right.
initiatives that university has taken, and probably you can find area of interest in our offerings.
Right.
Coming to what exactly makes us different is we are not only offering a lot of courses, variety of courses, but all our offerings have the right accreditation, which is appropriate to the industry recognition. So that
Right. So
makes the university an institute with a very very strong industry interface.
right.
Also,
So
we we help you. So you just don't become a graduate if you join Deakin University, but also you become an employable graduate. There's a difference between a graduate and an employable graduate. University helps you to basically upscale yourself and enhance your employability skills. So we have different services which actually runs in parallel with your mainstream course, and which kind of helps you to enhance your ability and probably make yourself employable. You may be really good in terms of theoretical studies, but you may not be relevant to that particular market or that particular region or that particular country. So we help you adapt accordingly. We help you enhance your skills or gain additional skills which is required, which is relevant for the industry.
So if I could sum up, somebody joining a Deakin University does not have to stress about what sort of a courses there would be. Are they accredited? Am I going to get the right kind of degree later on? Is it going to be recognized? So all those questions are out there. You get a peace of mind. You're going to Deakin University. There's no problem regarding that. And if I
Absolutely.
may add, I've been to the university, so it's a wonderful state-of-the-art infrastructure campus. It's hundreds of acres of campus, and if anybody wanting to study in Australia or anywhere in the West, I would say, rather than going to small university campuses where you have a 1 or 2 floors in a building, go to a big university. You have an experience. It's a lot of value addition to your personality. Your personality really changes going to a university.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing I'd like to add on is see we have pioneered in different areas, and one thing that I'll highlight today in this session is like I said before, we were established with an objective to strengthen off-campus learning. And today, after 40 years of experience in off-campus learning, we are considered #1 university in Australia, #8 in the world for online learning. And
Wonderful.
online learning is important for you guys to understand, because things not going to be like before, wherein you get to start right from first semester on campus. So you have to understand
Right.
this fact that if at all you want to travel, you want to study, you want to get Australian degree, and you want to get into Australia as soon as possible to any of those finest universities, you have to actually start online education at the earliest. You know,
Right.
because
Yeah.
if you wait for borders to open up, you will not get to travel at that point of time immediately. You will have a lot of students
Right.
queued up. You will have a lot of students queued up because shift will be batch wise, shift will be lot wise.
Right.
Bulk mobility is not going to happen. Not going
Right.
to happen because of the norms in place that different governments would have in place. Also, commercial aviation sector will take time to operate at that grand scale what it used to do early in 2020 or probably late in 2019. So there's
And
several
if I may add
impediments that
something to
will
this,
hinder that phase.
right, if may
Yeah,
add something to this, I understand that Deakin has for so many years already been 100% cloud computing university.
absolutely. We had a
So,
fantastic cloud campus. Yes,
so many institutions are now adapting to the digital education or getting into the cloud. But Deakin has been for so many years a 100% cloud university where all your lectures are on the cloud and you don't need to be inside the classroom to study. So you have your own username and password and you can see the lectures anytime of the day you like if you've
absolutely,
been busy
absolutely.
somewhere.
One of the
And
concerns,
that's
and
wonderful.
probably yeah, some skepticism around online is about the timings. I completely understand, and let me tell you, education, what we actually offer, and teaching and learning mode is something which is synchronous and asynchronous both. You don't have to really, we understand that many things you want to attend on real time basis, but there are a lot of
Right.
things, even if you don't attend on a real time basis, everything is available, everything is recorded, and then you can listen to it. Then you can get into a Deakin Sync platform wherein you can actually get access to different modules, guidance, tutorials. You can connect with the student network from different course offerings. You can actually communicate with them on our social media channels. We have a big student community actually which helps you. We have peer networking group wherein we actually guide you, students guide you as to how to execute your education once you're there in Australia. You get constant support from academics. You have a very strong support from non-academic staff as well. In fact, we have a 24/7 support system for all international students. So that is something that you should take into consideration when you want to choose the right destination or probably the right university. Deakin is very, very student-centric university. I mean, we have been ranked #1 for student satisfaction consecutively for many years now. And it is evident also from the fact that when COVID-19 started in the month of March, although it started in October in China, but then by the time it spread globally, it was like late February and March. And Deakin University was, very, very concerned, and they came up with equipment support for every student. They came up with hardship fund, and Deakin has released the highest amount of hardship fund, which is approximately around $25 million. And no other universities actually come up with that kind of support fund. So definitely, you know that how much of emphasis is being given to students,
Right. So
international students.
I'll add here, we were in touch with some of our few students, old students who went to Deakin University in the Feb intake, and I happened to talk to them during the lockdown in Melbourne, and they told me that they got money from the university as a hardship fund in COVID to sustain themselves in Melbourne. Now that is something
Absolutely.
wonderful that happens nowhere in the world, that an international student who is not a citizen of that country gets money from the university to sustain the hardship. The Indian government doesn't give it to our own students, but the Australian government or the university is giving the hardship funds to the students. That's wonderful.
Absolutely, 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 and that is the reason why students really want to go to Australia, because they understand how how much important this kind of support is for international students, because they don't really have anyone around them to support them. They're 10,000 miles away, and they really need some kind of support, assistance, and even to know that university is actually right behind them, to give them that kind of support. So it is definitely encouraging for them, and that creates a good word of mouth, and that is the reason there are a lot of students who want to go to Australia, and probably universities like Deakin University.
Right. So, Basab, one of our students is asking a question about scholarships available.
Yes, we have scholarships. We have some really good scholarships, and have been offering this for last few years. Currently, what we offer is we have 20% and 25% of scholarship, and then we have scholarships even amounting to 100% tuition fee waiver. Now, for online, what we have is currently we have 30% scholarship that you are offering to students who are starting online, and you basically get 30% tuition fee waiver for the number of units and the duration that you start online and study from your home country. And when you go back to Australia, when you go to Australia, transfer to Australia for on-campus studies, your scholarship becomes 20 or 25% basis your graduation marks or last education marks. So you are eligible for a certain percentage, be it 20 or 25, but you start always with 30 if you're in your home country. So we call it Deakin in-country scholarship. We understand that you may feel that, okay, you're not really going there, why should you pay the same amount? But trust me, Deakin University actually renders the same kind of services, and there is same kind of engagement. So there is no lack of support or lack of any activity which is usually given to on-campus students. Same thing. But because we understand your concern around that aspect, we want to address that. And recently I've come up with this scholarship, which is Deakin in-country scholarship, amounting to 30% tuition fee waiver.
Right. And also, may I add here that due to this COVID situation, Deakin University is enrolling students with a 1 or 2 units deposit tuition fee also. So just with 1 or 2 lakh rupees, you can get your confirmation of enrollment and start your online classes for those units, which is wonderful to secure your seat as of now. So your year is not wasted. You start your education, but you still invest very little. So that is wonderful, and you can
Absolutely.
lodge your visa on that deposit too. And it's a
Absolutely.
level 1 university, it's never an issue.
Absolutely, and that makes it convenient. Especially, we wanted to do this because we understand that online is a new phenomenon, and even if it's very lucid and simple, and we have constant support to help students to understand about the platform, but still, we don't want them to start with the full load. We want to start, with partial load probably.
Right.
Now, students need to choose their units and make it flexible. They can actually map their education and have an individual study plan for themselves. But it also addresses concerns around the economic instability, because we understand even parents who are actually funding their education may face some difficulty because of COVID-19. There is this economic slowdown, and with this kind of study plan, it helps parents to actually plan their wards study and how to invest, what should be the payment mode and everything. So this really helps them to decide on their wards international education plans.
Wonderful. So one of the other students is asking a question about the Ielts requirements to the university. So can you give a brief about that?
See, IELTS requirement varies from course to course. It may be around, most of the times it's 6.5 by 6 for PG courses and 6 by 6 for UG courses. But now because of COVID, you don't have any of these IELTS PT centers or TOEFL centers open wherein you can actually take those tests. So what you have is you have Deakin University English Language Institute's duly assessment test. You can actually take that test and assess yourself. It is the same line as that of IELTS. You may want to score. You can probably get to score the same, equivalent bands. So it can be equivalent to 6.5 or 6. If you score the same amount of marks in a duly assessment test as that of IELTS, TOEFL, or PT, you meet the English requirement, and it is absolutely free of cost. So ideally, you would have paid.
If I clarify that, students do not need to appear for the IELTS or PT and go to their centers. They can appear in the dually internal test of Deakin University and qualify for the course, right?
Absolutely, that's what I was coming to. So so it is not recommended. So if we have come up with this because we understand you can't appear for those tests, and that is the reason we have given you this solution wherein you can go for Deakin University's English Language Institute test, get the required score, and then probably accept the unconditional offer letter and lodge your visa application. So
So this test can be done from the comfort of their homes.
absolutely, this is the best part. So you can actually do it from your home. You don't really have to go out. You don't really have to come out to a center where you have to register and pay. You just need to write an email and Inface will basically write to us about the slot as to which slot you want to appear for your test, and then we conduct that exam. You get the required score, and you're done with your English requirement.
Wonderful. So in general, the bachelor's degree requirements is 6 in each section for the general courses,
Absolutely.
and postgraduate is 6.5 with 6 in each section. In general,
Absolutely.
there are some courses where more IELTS requirement would be there, like teaching,
Yeah, a few
nursing.
requires around 7 or something, but
Yeah,
very few,
yeah.
very few.
But I would like to add here somebody who's got the entry requirements in academics, but has IELTS a little bit low, can go through the pathway diploma to degree options also.
Yes, we do have. We do have this Deakin College. So you have Deakin University and then Deakin College. Deakin College is basically the pathway provider of Deakin University. There are a lot of students we understand were really good with academics. They might have scored really well in their exams, but might have studied in a different medium, not English, other than English, and probably have some issues. They're not really comfortable with articulation and stuff. They may be good in grammar, they may be good in writing skills, but then we understand not everyone can probably speak that fluently. So for them, we have this pathway in place wherein duration remains to be the same. So you're not losing out on anything. You're not taking extra. Yeah, it's just that you in the same infrastructure. You're getting the same infrastructure. You're studying in the same building. You have the same kind of support services. It's just that you attend a different cohort of attend in a classroom wherein there's a different cohort of students. It's much smaller in terms of size. So probably 25 or 30 students in a classroom. And that actually enables you to communicate with academics more frequently, what is ideally not the case had you been with university directly, So there's a lot of hand-holding, there's a lot of support. We kind of groom you as per the university standards, and then we help you develop those skills, even the communication skills, and accordingly, it helps you progress into your second year. So it is a direct progression to second year of your bachelor's degree instead of starting from first year of degree. So duration remains to the same, structure remains to the same.
So you have the option of studying into a top university with a 6 and 5.5 in each section also. So that's
absolutely,
wonderful.
absolutely.
We have one more question from a student, that if somebody is 32 years of old, has 6.5 band in IELTS, can he also apply?
Yes, if you have overall 6.5, no band less than 6, you can definitely apply.
Right. So into a master's degree, if you have the right kind of experience, you could do MBA or Master of Accounting or whatever the background you have. The age is not going to be a problem if you are actually wanting to go for learning, right?
I didn't get you. Come again. It broke off in between. If you could just repeat the question once again.
So I was just clarifying that if a student has the right mindset to study and learn at a later age also, and has the right credentials, like a good IELTS score, a good experience, want to do an MBA or something, higher education, I think they are welcome to apply.
Absolutely, absolutely. Age is just a number, So if you have progressed well in your career, if you have the right credentials, if you have good marks, you have scored well in your English proficiency test, definitely you're good to apply. So age does not impede your, pace or impede your plans to study abroad or study with any of the reputed universities.
Right. So wonderful. So anything else you want to tell to our students?
Absolutely, I'd like to just highlight the fact that times are difficult, but every cloud has a silver lining. So definitely, good times are coming. There is morning after night, and to really rejoice during that morning period, you need to start and work really hard during night, right? So start online, go for online education. Don't really wait. Don't waste your time. Every year is precious. I mean, there's no point wasting a year. And start in November and progress into Australia probably later in March or April. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the encouraging words, Basab. I just want to tell our students, if you have any queries later on, you can put comments to the videos or into our Instagram page. Get connected to our counselors. You'll have numbers flash very soon, so you can contact them. We can help you get to Deakin University and sail through easily without much of trouble. Thank you so much, Basab.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I really want to, say that Inface is one of our key partners. So with one students, if they have any queries, come to Inface and meet the counselor, get your queries resolved, answered, and apply for Deakin. Thanks for joining
Thank
in.
you, and good luck to all
Thanks.
our students. Thank you.